And we're zooming this one. We're not zooming right now, though. Okay.
Right. Good evening.
make a decision that y'all feel comfortable supporting.
Yes.
Because, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. And we want to support all of our parents and we want to be fair as we can. We want to stay within policy. And I know those policies about crossing highways, et cetera, we'll have to make sure we adhere to those pieces. Would you be comfortable doing that, Mr. Payne, and coming back for our next board meeting? And we'll get that on the agenda.
Thank
Are you comfortable with that?
Yes,
Madam
sir.
Chair?
Jamie has a question.
Have we reached out to any of the daycares yet about the scenario?
I spoke with the one at the apartment complex to find out if they had abated or possibly used transportation and explain the situation. Why they're going to the hospital, they understood across the highway.
Getting some of those.
Could you, I don't know how this would work for your department, but if, and if it's even a possibility, but if you could add in some sort of rule for just for daycares that service our students, that, transportation for 25 cents a mile per kid, or I don't know, whatever it is, something per day. If there's something like that that would cover the transportation cost, I don't even know if that's a possibility or not.
I will say that in doing some research, Highlands County does have a school board policy where they do charge daycare.
It might be, yes, thank you. If you could look at that and just maybe present, that would be a possible
Because it
option.
has to be fair. Ultimately, the child care facilities are businesses. And if I sign my child up to attend ABC child care, then I, as the business or as the person, would either take my child there or expect that the business would be able to provide that service to me that I'm paying for.
Yeah, and it really isn't fair for us to do it for one.
It is not, it is not.
And the drawback seems to be coming from the students that actually live there and having to walk while the buses.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Payne. And we've got a few more things. First of all, it's good to have Nicole and Michael here with our insurance tonight. I don't know that we're going to have any questions, but I do appreciate having y'all out there. Board members, as we've looked at the move to self-insurance, we have 4 very high cost claims. And those have, I believe it's called lasers that are attached to each of them. If we move to self-insured right now with those 4 lasers will stay on the self-insured piece forever, as long as some life's working that piece with us. And what that means for us is, rather than us seeing a significant savings, we potentially see a small savings this year, and potentially we could really go over the budget that we'd like to spend on our insurance. Would that be accurate, Nicole? And we're not saying that it's self-insurance is off the table. This needs to go back to the insurance committee again. I look forward to moving, because I am looking forward to us moving to self-insurance, as I think our board is and our committee is. But we just want to make sure we're taking very prudent steps and make sure we don't put the district in any kind of a financial position that's behind the 8 ball. And that being the case, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Michael, you're aware of this, and you are, Nicole, they've agreed to a 3% increase. And Michael, y'all have negotiated your share back to 2.75. So in all reality, that's a 2.75% increase that we'll see, I believe, after we pull that 1/4 point out of what y'all are being paid. Correct. So it's significant dollars, but it's not like a 10% increase would be, or a 12 or 16% increase. And the insurance committee is, in terms of the instructional side, the non-district side, is an agreement that the 3% piece, if the district absorbs that cost, that's agreeable. They don't have to go back to committee for us to continue on and move forward with it. We visited with Darren, and Nicole works with Darren, and that is our best advice moving forward. Puts us in the safest, most protected position financially and in terms of employee coverage. There'll be no change in coverage. And a year from now, we have a lot more opportunities. Blue Cross Blue Shield's made some concessions to us moving forward that I think that'll be helpful for us and give us access to more dollar savings as we move forward. That being not the case, I'd like to recommend, Madam Chair, that we pull 807 from the agenda and not vote on the self-insure piece and not go in with a fizz bit on the health insurance piece, but we continue on and we will bring a contract from Blue Cross Blue Shield for, board approval. And that really, we can get that anytime, I'm assuming, can't we? It expires in, October. So I'm assuming y'all will reach out and talk to Robin and those folks with Blue Cross Blue Shield or get that piece for us. Awesome. So that would be my recommendation. That's something that we're agreeable on.
Everyone comfortable pulling that item?
Yes.
Yes.
The prescription plan, if we go back to we do what we did last year with Blue Cross and Blue Shield and just maintain that would stay the same as well. That's correct. Okay. They didn't like try to negotiate something different with that in there. Yeah, okay.
Everything would remain the same.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for that update. I know that affects a lot of people.
Yes, ma'am, it does. And we don't want, right now, if anybody's read the newspaper, inflation right now is growing the largest in Florida of all 50 states. And if we can take a burden off of our employees, whether it's $5 or $10 a month, we want to keep that rate down as low as we can for them. So we're going to absorb that cost. Can I give you another insurance update? At this point, we have 270 employees that have participated in the wellness incentive program, and they have each received a $500 incentive check. And I know that many of y'all have participated in that. That's a great thing. Just identifying underlying health conditions, going for that doctor's visit, that has been a definite positive. Getting out of the insurance piece and a little bit in the school testing and some of the results, I'm gonna give the 3rd and 5th grade first. That was our lowest achieving grade levels. And we had 33% proficiency in 3rd grade, 35% proficiency in 5th grade in the ELA and the reading portion. That being said, kindergarten was 57, and this is on state testing, fast testing. Kindergarten was 57% proficient throughout the district. 1st grade was 48%. 2nd grade was 44%. Our 4th graders were 48%. And on 5th graders, again, they were at 35%. But there's what I want to enforce as a board. We've got some really good curriculum pieces in place. We've got some sound foundational pieces that are going to aid these kids moving up. And I'm not discouraged for our 3rd graders. I wish it was higher, but last year's 3rd graders are this year's 4th graders, and they were 30-something% proficient and made tremendous gains in their 4th grade year. So our expectation that we're going to build on these and we're going to see them continue to go on. I thought I would share the math scores briefly with the board. Our kindergarten was 48% proficient. Our 1st graders were 65% proficient. 2nd grade was 53% proficient. 3rd grade, 46% proficient. 4th grade, 59% proficient. 5th graders, 40% proficient. When we took the first progress monitoring test, our kids were really at a deficit. And I feel like going into it next year, we're not going to start with kids that are 16% proficient and trying to really move them along at warp speed. We're going to have kids that are better suited on that first progress monitoring. My expectation and hope and prayer is that we have kids that are reading, 50% of them are reading above, proficient or above. And as we meet and talk about our strategic plan, you'll see our goal is to get to 60%. And then on that next strategic plan, to move that bar to 70% and 80% and just keep on moving it. We had a lot of energy, I thought, yesterday in the leadership cohort that was together. And I'm proud of our board members that were there and visited with us, and our school leadership, our district leadership. We had teachers there. There was an awful lot of energy moving forward. And I really believe we're going to take these numbers and be able to move with them and run with them and gain some momentum moving forward. And Madam Chair, that is really all that I have until the second portion of the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's move to item number 5, public presentations. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address the board on an agenda item? Seeing none, we will move to number 6, financial reports.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Chansey, second by Dr. Goodman. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 7, routine business. Make a motion to approve routine business. Second. Motion by Ms. Mercer, seconded by Ms. Chansey. Any other discussion or comments? No? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 8, new business. We're
I
gonna
make a motion that with us moving or pulling item 807, that piece pulling that, but with the remainder being approved.
I'll second. All right, we have a motion by Dr. Goodman, a second by Ms. Mercer. Any other discussion on any of these? I will say, I was happy to see that we've got some new fleets, vehicles coming in. The other ones were getting worn. I know we take them to, we take them to different conferences and whatnot. It's like, oh my gosh. You had some, look at this one.
Marcus really found that with Polk County, wasn't it, Marcus? And Charlie, didn't we come up with that fleet rental piece from those? And so we'll be exchanging vehicles on, basically on an ongoing process. Will it be, Marcus?
Yeah, ideally, we can replace 5 a year for the cost of their purchasing 1 a year.
Yeah, there was quite a few outdated things with it. Do the new ones have like a GPS or anything in them or not?
So this is just the initial stages to get started. We
Okay.
really Spec out exactly what
Okay.
we want in all the vehicles.
Okay,
And obviously that changes.
At least GPS.
For it. But, this is intended, like, for example, your main truck that he relies on to service the bus is 41 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we need some new.
a 31-year-old vehicle. It's
We're
time.
relying on.
It's time.
Make sure we.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it got to, there's no USB, which I mean, I know these are first world problems. And we're like, we can't even figure out GPS because there's no place to plug your phone in unless you have one of like the cigarette lighter things. So anyway, we have a motion on the table. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, Dr. Bennett, we're back to you.
Yes, ma'am. Couple things. First of all, I'd like to recognize Marcus Allen's going to be doing an E-rate workshop here in the district in November.
Yeah, November 1st, we've been asked to host an E-rate workshop at the state, so. Here, depending how many people sign up either here or at the end.
And I'm really proud of that because as we remember, we missed out on a lot of E-rate dollars over the years. And it looks like we have the resident expert right now as far as state E-rate. So Mark is really proud of you bringing that event to DeSoto County in our district. Then the second piece is Marcus is going to update the board with our budget meeting dates.
I'll send an email as well for
Wonderful.
these, but we'll have our tentative budget hearing date on August 1st at 5:01 p.m. And then we'll have our final budget hearing September 5th at 5:01 p.m. And then there's going to be a special board meeting to follow the final budget hearing to accept the AFR and the transmission through DOE on the same September 5th. So those are the next upcoming dates. that we have. Unfortunately, they don't line up with any of our regular board meetings, so had to go with what the actual guidelines said, of course.
No problem.
Thank you. That's one of those state statutes.
The next thing is the board had given me permission to look at the land and possibly seeing what the process would be to put a bonder down on the school property. I talked to Violet Brown. She's coming in. She finishes up, I believe, August the 2nd with the projects that are currently in the cycle for building. And she's going to come to DeSoto County, walk the property that we currently have and that property that's adjacent with us and really walk us through the process of how we can put this binder down. The property owner is agreeable to give us about a month or so to get Violet down and get involved with this process. But we will look forward to bringing a binder to the board for approval and getting your permission to put that binder on that property. And again, the Special Facilities Fund will take care of the property. They'll make that for us. It won't be us. We'll have to pay a fair market price for it. I visited with a couple members of the public today from the class of the 70s. I think one of them was 73 and one of them was a little after that. And they were gracious to donate a banner from the class of 70s reunion. It has all those signatures. We're going to put it at Family Services Center, but we wanted to go see what the property was going to look like and, where that ag area is. And I think there's a lot of folks excited in DeSoto County about it. I know if I had a child, and hopefully I'll have a grandchild, I'll walk through those halls one day, that it'll be a real showplace that a lot of thoughts gone into that our community can be proud of. And I know we're still collecting ideas from community folks, and are looking forward to doing some workshops with it. But everything looks good. Violet Brown is really excited, and that's big when DOD's excited. It makes you feel a lot better than when they're really hesitant. And that's really all that I have. I just want to give you an update on that. Madam Chair.
Thank you. I know people have been asking about that. I'm sure the other board members have got some questions. Everybody wants to know what's happening. It's going to be a long process, right? So that's what we tell people.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
You know,
We won't, we'll start putting paperwork in after August to get at the front of the line. You know, as soon as Marcus gets our budget squared away, we'll roll right into that. Because we want to be, you know, as long as we're approved, we're good. It doesn't matter how they rank us. We just have to get ranked. So we're going to try to get in that hunt early.
Put your best smile on for that presentation. All right. Item number 10, public presentations. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address the board on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, we will move to item number 11, board member comments. Dr. Goodman.
I want to echo what Dr. Bennett said about the administrative workshop yesterday. It was very exciting to be there and to be on this side of it. I'm used to being on the principal side of it and working through those processes. So it was very, very good to be able to see each of the schools' teams excited and looking forward. Very excited about the roadmap and how we're going to move through and get our schools from where we are now, which is the reality of it is what it is. But that being said, it's not what it has to be. That we can and we will do better and we'll get there, but it's going to take time. Bumps and waves and curves and ups and downs, but we'll get there. And to have the administrators there and to get that kind of energy pumped into them was really exciting. And some teachers were there as well and coaches. So I was real glad to take part of that. And thank you all so much for inviting us to be a part of that.
Thank you for coming.
Ms. Tansey.
Yes, and I wanted to extend my thankfulness that you invited the board. I thought that was really great, and I was sorry I could not be there on the doctor's appointments, and so.
You stand
But
for it.
yeah, but I know it was going to be really good, and that would have been the board's first time of being able to be a part of something like that, and I think that was really, really good.
Well, we're
Sorry, I
excited.
missed it.
We are when it comes to the district
Yeah.
board, superintendent, district leadership. You know, the more we're together in the same direction, the easier the load gets.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, and thank you, Charlie, for checking in all of that on the transportation. I think we're headed in the right direction on that, because we do want to be fair, for everybody, and I think sticking with policy and Florida statute on policy, then that's just where we have to go anyways.
Yeah.
So,
He'll find something
Oh,
fun
yeah.
to throw at us. I'm sure. Ms. Mercer.
Just to echo what they said, it's kind of been a quiet couple of weeks, so. But I did get to stop by in the morning and see the leadership training, and they were very energized. Good to see their strategies on how they put things together, the organization or non-organization, how they handled it. So.
Ms. Schumann.
Yeah, the same with the leadership retreat. It was really cool. Some of the activities that they had set up. I'm excited for the leaders that we have in our district. And I think that they're gonna continue taking us in the positive direction. We have our next master board training coming up next week. So we'll be working on our strategic plan.
Is that on Thursday?
It's
on the
Thursday.
20th. Yeah, so I'm excited for us to kind of get to collaborate again in that
So
regard.
it starts at 9:30, correct?
I have 9:30. Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up.
And I think before you, I think it meant a lot to them guys for us to be there, for them to see us as school board members there and to spend time with them. So I think that meant a lot to the administrators.
And the lady from the state who was
Yes.
there, she was like, I couldn't believe it's an all-female board. First time I've ever heard that. Yes, I didn't get in there till lunchtime, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if Jason would make it through the door with his head, because all I've heard is Jake this and that and how great he did.
He
So,
killed it.
He
He
did.
really did.
He did. Like he nailed every single thing. And I know teachers had brought up a lot of stuff to him about issues that he talked to them about over the course of the last few weeks and months. And he addressed all of them. And you're right. You said the energy was just so exciting. And yeah, that's the feedback that I got too. So it was very nice to have them there. All right, no other comments then, well, we will, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.